Welcome back, everyone, to DNA Crows. I'm your guest host, your actual host. Which one of us is the host today?
I think we're both the host.
Really?
I think that's how that works. We're dual hosts.
We're dual hosts? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think the co-host thing's gonna work. May have to take care of that. Anyways.
That's cool. I'll just get Ant-Man to crawl up your butthole.
You know what? I'm telling you right now, that would not work. Thanos' ass is just as impenetrable as
Does
the
he
rest
do
of them.
what's those like squats? You know? Is he working on his bum game?
He is.
That's a tight.
I've heard from reliable sources. All right.
Mainly Ant-Man.
Right before Thanos crapped him out. All right. I am your co-host, Andrew, the ComicCrowe. And this is...
The other co-host, Dean, Twitter handle, DA_talks.
Are we doing Twitter handles?
I thought we were. I don't know. I need more followers.
Yeah. When he gets more followers, we need his followers to tell him what his handle should be.
I like the handle.
You do?
I liked it.
I mean, I think it's a little basic, but okay. All right, guys. So today, I am not going to be spoiling Endgame for my little brother. We're just going to be sitting here talking, having a conversation, and it's going to be over some political issues.
Okay.
The one thing I think that would be fun to talk about is something that we had a discussion on before we really had the channel going and everything, and that was what happened in the... Hold on, guys.
Was that Thor?
I think so.
Oh, shiz.
Hold
out, skills.
I
That's
have more
pretty
to
tight.
Alright, so, this is all going to be very noisy. Listen, during these...
It just keeps going.
I'm just going to put this down.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. So... Okay, so during the DNC town halls, an interesting topic came up. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you, these people are fucking nuts. But they did kind of bring up something that I think should merit some conversation. Not should felons in prison who are convicted of murder and rape be allowed to vote. Nor should a convicted felon currently serving a sentence be allowed to vote. But should ex-cons be given the right to vote? I think we can both kind of agree. If you've served your time, if you've paid your debt to society, that you should be allowed the right to vote.
Yeah. It's just sad that we continue to punish people that have served their time, and that's what. This is a little hard to talk through.
Way to disrespect Iron
Man. I am such a dick. But we continue to punish people that have served their time, and that's what serving your time is. It's paying your debt to society. And I mean, once you
shouldn't Ant-Man have the right to vote?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Paul Rudd. He can't vote right now, and it's sad.
Yeah, he can't.
Yeah.
That's
He's
not right.
Can't vote man. Or can't man.
Can't man?
Can't man. Only on election days.
Only on election. Okay.
Only on election days.
I guess.
But it is really sad. I mean, why do we have people serve time and then just continue to punish them afterwards?
And look, I'm going to say that there are certain cases where I'm never going to be okay with it. Pedophiles and convicted rapists, I am just...
Yeah, those are the...
I know, listen.
Those are the only two types of crime where I just like... I mean, I don't want to get too tough here, but I'm okay with killing pedophiles. I mean, I'm not okay with murder, but if somebody kills a pedophile, like, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I'm also going to think maybe the world is better place.
Hold on. Did you hear? I'll try to find the story. Hold on. I posted on my Twitter. This is absolutely disgusting. I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but there was a case of a convicted pedophile, and the judge let him go because they said it was his first offense. And I go,
yeah, but
I'm not kidding.
He's gonna offend again. Like, that's what pedophiles do.
I'm not making this shit up. Like, you think I'm making it up? Here, I'll find it. Anyways, this is really nasty. The judge decided, here we go. Let's just read this headline. No jail time for New York school bus driver who admitted to raping 14-year-old girl. The judge says this 26-year-old has no prior arrests, and there was one victim. So the sentence was appropriate. Go and fuck yourself, judge. I don't know who this judge is, but they need to be removed from the bench immediately. And this is sort of the thing, like, obviously this guy didn't even get to serve a sentence, and he should have been castrated with a rusty fork. I'm not fucking around. And then be put to death.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any forgiveness for people
I feel bad for generally most people, like just in general, you know what I mean? Like, to somewhat we're all a victim of circumstance, right? People where, like, no matter what, like, situation they're in, I don't feel sympathetic. Because I'm like, oh yeah, they're a pedophile.
I mean, okay, so let's remove pedophiles from tail, because I don't think anybody wants them to have the right to vote. But you brought an kind of an interesting point. And it was, I said that, look, you should give ex-cons the right to vote, especially if they serve their time, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're out, you know, they've served their debt to society.
The point of prison is I mean, yes, there's some nuance here, but not much. Like, the point of prison is to go there, serve your time, pay your debt to society, and become better. Do your punishment, and then re-enter society. And there really should not be a stigma. There's always going to be one, though, but we should not make it harder for people, because, you know, drug crimes, you know, that's not violent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are people still in prison for smoking pot. We live in California. I mean...
Yeah, not here. There's not criminals here.
Yeah, I mean...
To the best of my knowledge.
Yeah. Those criminals, those ex-cons, they should not be punished. They shouldn't have such difficulty...
Finding jobs?
No, it's not right.
Yeah, because what's the only, like, thing that they can go back to? When you make it hard for an ex-convict who's trying to straighten up his life to straighten up his life, well, they're just not going to straighten up their life. Like, that's...
There's no purpose. There's no purpose in getting better if society is just going to punish you until the end of days.
Yeah.
I mean, if you stole once and you're forever branded a thief, why would you stop stealing?
I don't even care. If you stole 4 times and each time you got convicted, each time...
That's a lot of times.
Yeah, but here's the thing is, I don't know, I guess... I grew up knowing that people could change. They always say people never change. No, well, that's not true.
I mean,
if you were going to base that, if you were going to use that logic on everything, well then, oh man, we're all terrible people.
I'm going to take this image down just because looking at this guy makes me want to stab my Twitter.
Yeah, he is one ugly person too.
If right?
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Those are the ugliest motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We better start disagreeing, or people are not going to believe that we have political differences.
That's true.
Yes. Now, one of the things we were disagreeing on was essentially violent criminals, and I would include rapists in here.
If we're including rapists in there, I guess I have to back down from that stance. I'm not okay with it. I think rapists and pedophiles...
The guy who makes the Me Too jokes.
Okay, but that's just good humor. That's good humor. Plus, I was the one Me Tooing you. I said, #Me Too. You're the weird person here. But no, I'm just joking. He's not. Well, you're a little weird. But, I mean, if you're gonna add pedophiles into there, I feel
not
that's
pedophiles. Not
I
pedophiles.
mean rapists.
Well, let me ask you, because this will be important. Do you think that murder or rape, which one is worse? One is taking life, one's taking someone's innocence. Which one is worse?
Rape.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Then I have to say this again, because based on our legal standards, it is not. So.
No, I know it's not. But when you rape, you generally tend to create a cycle. Rape, molestation.
Yeah.
You create a cycle, and especially if you hit somebody young, which goes kind of back into the pedophile thing, but not necessarily just hitting somebody young. You generally tend to create a cycle, a almost never-ending cycle, where you create more predators and more victims.
So the way that you would see it is, I guess, let me just make sure I don't strawman your position. You would state that a murderer who is out of prison, they should be allowed to have the right to vote.
Yeah, technically, yeah, they're out of prison.
But rapists, no.
No, never.
Okay, now here's where I have a little bit of an issue with that position. It's not, I'm not trying to be a dick.
You are already being a dick. I don't like this.
I've always been a dick.
You calling me out on YouTube?
Okay, it's more or less, you have to have laws that actually make sense.
Right. No, and I get that my stance would never be adopted because, yeah, to some extent it doesn't make sense. Rape isn't as bad as murder to a lot of people, and especially to the law.
No, I'm not saying that. Look, honestly, I think that they are at least equal to me.
They're what?
They are at least equal.
I can take that.
But if you put a rapist in prison, right, and they serve their time, and I'll be frank with you, I don't think they serve enough. I think these are people that one time should be equivalent to a sentence for murder.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going
times.
to deter rapists when you have such lenient freaking laws on them. Like, I don't understand.
You are okay.
Okay.
But realistically, right? If you were trying to put a legal standard in place, and you exclude rapists, and I'm totally for that, but where do you draw that line? Because there are certain sex crimes that molestation, right? Flashing somebody, these are all sex crimes, right?
Yeah.
They can label you a a sex offender.
Mm-hmm.
So would you state that a murderer, right, they would have the ability to have the right to vote after getting out of prison, after serving their term, and maybe we look at the sentences we give to people who commit murder, maybe we look at the sentences we give to people who commit rape, and we increase those sentences, but after, right? Would you not feel it's not right to then give the right to vote for a murderer, but not the right to vote for someone who flashed somebody?
You could. Well, I think you would have to do it depending on the degree of the sex crime. I think we need to put sex crimes into certain categories, like a class 1, a class 2, a class 3. I don't know how you would, or if they already do.
Okay.
Put them into different.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Now, I'm of the opinion that to actually change the law, you can't just make these big sweeping changes. You need to start with steps. So I think that as it stands right now, what we should do as a society, because this is something that always bothers me, is our prison systems are not set up right. They're not,
without doubt.
They are terrible.
They're revolving glass doors.
Well, and intentionally so. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think
did you hear about the judge who just got convicted for selling black kids essentially to a prison?
Yeah, it does not surprise me.
Yeah, 26 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't long enough.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Private prison, and this is a problem with private prisons. This is one of those situations where I go, yeah, you need oversight. You do need to regulate.
Should we have privatized them to begin with, though?
I mean, it's hard to say.
I think you instantly incentivized business right there.
Yeah, that's true.
When you made it. Here's the thing: is you can make arguments for small governments, big governments, whatever. Certain things should not be privately ran.
Like the DMV.
Or, yeah, I guess.
Right.
Well, no, they are. Yeah, no, they're not. Yeah, they should.
Privatized.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't know that DMV is not the government.
What?
Yeah, I mean, they deal in government systems, but the DMV is privatized.
What?
Really? You don't know?
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Well, I obviously don't know enough about anything.
Okay. No. Well, I could be wrong. Hold on.
Yeah, because they're a .gov site.
Well, yeah.
Which obviously means, without a doubt.
See, privatization.
What? Well, I'd have to see something on it. You want to be cool?
Oh, you know what? It's people saying that, edit this part out, AJ. I screwed up.
Obviously, he doesn't know enough. Goodbye.
I don't know enough. Okay, hold on. Back on point, though.
Yeah.
Look, well, actually, maybe privatizing the DMV is the right answer, because something needs to be done. The DMV sucks.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay,
well, that aside.
Aside. Okay, no, look, when it comes to prisons, yeah, I would say the government should probably be running it, except for look at how badly we run schools.
Yeah, but that's...
It's
not that I'm going to disagree with you.
And the DMV. Look at how poorly we run the DMV.
I get that, right? But the problem I think there
is that you're incentivizing the business.
Yeah, I think if you look at the way that private schools run good, it's because they want that school to be good, right? But if you privatize a prison, well, if you're making it so these people never come back, well, I mean that's basically losing a repeat customer. I mean, essentially, that's what you're doing.
And maybe we change the way that prisons are incentivized. Maybe we pay them more when they release somebody who doesn't commit repeat felonies, because I think that you could still work with it being privatized as long as you change the incentive structure. I understand. It's one of those things where, again, you cannot just make a broad sweeping change without expecting a lot of things to just start falling into chaos.
Yeah, but that's the process.
Well, and again,
a lot of the times.
I think that if you made it so that prisons were incentivized not to keep people in there, not to run them as kind of pseudo indentured servants.
So teach them to do the right thing.
I do think, and bleeding heart and everything, blah, go fuck yourself. You should be teaching people in prison what to do. And by that I mean educate them. Seriously, educate these people.
I don't think anybody's, well, I mean, I'm sure there are some people
against
educating our prison population.
We're not funding that.
Yeah.
I mean, aren't there some... I don't want touchy-feely, play with money's class. But literally, read books, teach them an actual skill set.
I could have sworn that they do that in a lot of prisons.
Well, I mean, they have
maybe
prison
not
libraries.
But you can also you can start earning degrees.
You can, but I'm saying that that's what you should incentivize the prisons to do.
Oh, without a doubt.
You should not incentivize them for bringing people back. That's absolutely asinine and stupid.
Yeah.
And that is only going to lead to cases where you have a judge selling kids into
that's
prison.
Wild. Well, I mean, but here's the thing:
but it's going to happen.
You could still have that problem though, because even though you're incentivizing the people to never come back, the people running these privatized prisons could still incentivize a judge to sell them. I mean, essentially, you guys get it.
I think that you could. Let's say the government ran it. I think the government could just as easily become corrupt and tyrannical. I mean, they're.
But is the government? I'm not sure the government makes money off of the public prison system. Pretty sure we lose money on that. So it's not like they would be incentivized to.
No, but I think that what they would do is, and this is again, I think that what you do in a privatized prison, the same thing that happens in a federal prison. There is corruption no matter where you're going to look.
Yeah.
It's how do we minimize that corruption. I think that leaving it to free markets is not a bad idea. It's just first, and you do need to regulate. You absolutely need to regulate in this scenario because we're not talking about, we're not talking about a business or a corporation. What are your thoughts on the free markets are? We are specifically talking about people. We're talking about people that we keep in captivity, and these are not good people for the most part,
but they could become good. People can change.
And I think part of that change is encouraging that change. It's not one of the scary things that I think is putting somebody who's in there for cocaine, right? Coke, or heroin. I mean, these are really nasty drugs. Don't get me wrong. But
I'm actually. We can talk about this another time, but I'm actually for legalizing all drugs except PCP. Mostly because when you do PCP, you're a danger to everybody.
Well, opium. I mean,
You're not a danger really to most people around here.
Well, we have an opium crisis, dude.
But you can't legislate on morality. You have to tell people what they're doing is wrong, but you can't dictate what they're doing. Like, you can't tell them.
I think when a substance is that harmful and that addictive,
you educate people.
No,
you educate people, but you don't.
Okay,
it's your body. It's your body, and I don't believe the government should actually tell you what to do with it. And that's a very conservative standpoint, actually.
No, it's a very libertarian standpoint. I don't disagree with you. It's just, I think that in some scenarios, like you said with PCP,
mm-hmm.
I think some substances are only massively addictive and that you don't have the free will to say no. Cocaine, what I meant was, because that's not really a major bad one. I think heroin's a lot worse.
I would say, yeah, probably, yeah.
Right.
Heroin, from what I've heard,
we've seen people.
Well, from what I've heard though, it's like just as far as like your main ones, because there's there's crocodile or whatever, alligator, and there's all these designer drugs that are a million times worse.
I know all this stuff.
I watch Drug Inc. It's really interesting.
Sure you do.
I love Drug Inc. I've also got scales from crocodile. But
my brother needs some serious help.
Send prayers, but mostly money.
Or more drugs.
Or more drugs. Cut out that middleman with the money part. More drugs.
Okay. No, but hear me out, right? I think the scary thing, because we got off topic there, is taking somebody who's in prison for cocaine or heroin and putting them with gangsters, putting them with actual deranged psychotics,
mm-hmm.
where they can only get worse. That is not good. That is not what we need. And I think that's why you see these massive prison gangs. And then when they get out, they're initiated. They're a member of that gang. They're going to go back and commit more crimes that are far worse than the crimes that they went in there in the first place.
Yeah. And that's how I joined my gang.
Yeah.
We call ourselves the Tootsie Rolls. The initiation was to roll around in shit. Till you covered like a Tootsie Roll?
And that wasn't the initiation. We just want to see if you would do that.
Oh, man. I still got my tattoo. Fuck you.
Just a massive
It's just a massive shit.
Alright, well, look, I think that's not something that we need, right? I think that, you need to pull these systems that are there to incentivize people to only be bad, only be worse. You need to change the way society is looking at the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Prison cannot be where we just send people to get them out of our sight. If it's not there for the sake of people repenting, for people to get better
mm-hmm.
and re-enter society after understanding what they've done is wrong and that they need to do better, then we are massively failing. And when you're out of prison, removing those stigmas, assuming that these people have changed, have become better,
mm-hmm.
They absolutely deserve the right to vote. And we can go back and forth on a lot of these things. Yes, there are certain crimes, and I'm just going to put murder with them for now, just because for a lot of people, I don't think you would ever get them past that.
Well, I guess, would you first degree murder? I mean, obviously, you would say.
I would say
second degree. Would you put second degree with it?
My issue is with our legal system. Let's say someone clearly the crime they committed was first degree murder. And I'm obviously I'm not a lawyer or anything. But I would not want DAs pleading people down to manslaughter when they committed first or second degree murder. And otherwise, I would say even manslaughter, right? That's something that should be, because that's not intentional, right?
Yeah, manslaughter. I would say. Are you saying that they should be able to vote after?
I think that would make sense.
I would think so too. Well, because a lot of there's at least a good amount of cases of manslaughter where the DA will drop it, mostly because it was just unintentional.
And that's the thing. I do think that at the end of the day, you need a situation to take place together
mm-hmm.
where everything is just kind of changed the way that we're doing it. I don't think that you'd have the government take over just because the government can't manage. Government would fuck up running the McDonald's. Straight up, right? They would completely screw that up. They would pander for votes, make fries cost a nickel, and then immediately start taxing people for more money so they could sell fries for a nickel.
Yeah.
And then never acknowledge the massive amounts of obesity that come forward from it. You gotta admit, they really
I mean, to some extent, yeah, I guess I'll just agree just for this. Yeah.
It's a good example.
Yeah.
Again,
Make McDonald's great again. But. What?
You said a Trump meme. Okay. Look,
all my shit posts and there's yet to be a Trump meme. That's so weird.
Yeah, right? Look, I do think that you should reintegrate people into society who are ex-cons, and one of the biggest steps is giving them the right to vote. And if they want to vote, they should be allowed to if they paid their debt. I think it's important for not just, I think it's important for everybody. And if we are so afraid that they will get out of prison and immediately start voting for people, I mean, look, I think the rest of us, like the rest of society, if we saw a candidate running for president who's like, well, I think that we should make bank robbery a misdemeanor, then we just know that candidate is a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, you can't sell me on, well, they're just gonna vote for the wrong thing. Well, motherfucker, what if you're voting for the wrong thing?
Mean,
chances are that just based off that stupid statement that you're making some stupid fucking votes.
You're right. But the people believe that. I got into an engagement with someone, and I told them, look, if your plan is you want people ex-cons, and I told them non-violent ex-cons, right? And I understand someone who commits assault. I don't look. Things get out of hand with some people. I think even then they should be given the right to vote when they serve their time. But let's take murderers, rapists, and fucking pedophiles off the table entirely for now.
I mean, 2 out of 3.
Well, I mean, if you really want the law to be changed,
you have to take murder off.
But
that doesn't mean I agree with it. But I agree that you would have to. Yeah.
You don't have to agree with everything. Yeah. That's the glory of this country.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying, like, if I wanted the law to pass, like, let's say I was in legislation, I would take murderers out of there. Yeah.
I mean, and I get that. I think that if you actually want to make that change, though, you need to.
You'd have to.
You need to take those off the table because look. There are a lot of murderers ain't good people, and they ain't gonna be good people, and they done a lot worse.
Well, then why don't we just give them life?
Oh, I agree.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I would disagree.
First degree murder?
There's some very good exceptions for first degree murder. Your brother's an asshole. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna sympathize with you.
I mean, my brother is an asshole.
Yeah, you should fucking murder that guy. Please kill me.
No, seriously.
Yeah,
I do think that you take those off the table for now, and 2 of those 3 never.
Oh yeah.
But I think that we take those off the table, right? I think that we change the way that we're running our prisons, so we actually incentivize them for not. For basically,
I mean, you look at like the Scandinavian type countries. Their prison systems are great, and you could make the same statement they do with healthcare in those countries and all these things. But I mean, which I am for socialized medicine. But fuck me, fuck you, buddy. Hey, buddy, fuck you.
Don't call me buddy, guy.
Some things you gotta look at the investment on what. What'd you say?
We're not gonna do Terrence and Philip now?
Yeah, buddy. But some things you gotta look at, is the cost worth it?
I would,
Jesus. I would say that the cost is, definitely. You gotta look at making society better, and if that means that we pay some money so people don't continue to commit crimes,
no,
I would say that's an investment well spent.
No, I completely agree there. I think that we don't need the federal government to take over everything just because the federal government sucks at taking things over.
California state government sucks even more than federal. So.
No, and God, can you just imagine California?
Weed is legal!
Well, yeah, I gotta say, California is just a total quagmire. We can go over all the shit that happens in California. And that's why I said when we talk about heroin, I've seen people on the streets fucked up on heroin. It's not a pretty sight.
But they're also for the non-violent offenders. I don't care if you harm yourself. Like I really.
No.
I mean, I do care if you're thinking about suicide. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But if you're harming yourself, I mean, when it comes to drugs, you know it's harmful. Nobody ever told you this was gonna better your life, right? And you did it knowing. I do think addiction is a disease. I actually am on that. However, that doesn't mean that I think that those drugs should be illegal. Shit, AIDS is a disease, but that doesn't mean I think you should, fucking make sex illegal.
No, gosh, I mean, that's not too far off. Look, California is weird. Just we gotta talk about this another time. Like our laws.
I think our next video should maybe.
No, I think that if we want to be serious about this, right? I think we take murderers, rapists, pedophiles, the scum of the earth off the table.
Yeah.
And I get your
murders.
I understand. Manslaughter, I don't think that raises to that level, right?
Definitely not.
I think that when you're out of prison after you served your time, you should be allowed to integrate back into society, and part of that is the right to vote. And like I was saying, I had this conversation with someone on Twitter, and this is the problem. Every single time this becomes overly political, people just run to these extreme positions. Look at what happened. Bernie Sanders comes out and he says, and this is part from the town hall, should the Boston Marathon bombers get the right to vote? He goes, absolutely. And I go, in prison? Really? In prison? And this is my issue, right? They took other people's right to vote away by murdering them, and then you want them to give them the ability to right to vote. And he goes, well, it's a slippery slope. It's really not a slippery slope.
Yeah,
the slippery slope is giving them the right to vote while they're in prison serving crimes for the shit that they've done.
I think in fairness, I think what he means by it's a slippery slope, well, how can you give some the right and not others? I think that's what he means. But it's not a slippery slope, man. Just write your legislation clear and don't have stupid positions.
Right? And this is my thing, right? They go, well, voting is right. I don't disagree with that. But, we take rights away from convicts. I mean, we take away the right to freedom. We take away their right to bear arms. You can't pick and choose which rights you're going to restore based on what you personally feel is better for somebody. Again, there are certain things I think are just, they do have the right to have food.
Obviously. Unless they're pedophiles. Just take away the food choice.
Castrate, starve them to death. I'm okay with that.
Castrate and then starve to death. I think
with a rusty fork and then make them eat with the rusty fork. Fuck pedophiles. Yeah. Listen, if that's the position that someone wants to take, where they say, well, everyone deserves the right to vote because you can't remove their right. At that point, look, if that's the position you want to take, you also don't get to remove their right to bear arms. You don't get to remove rights. Right? You don't get to just pick and choose how you want to run that. Look, if you're in prison, it doesn't matter what you've done. If you're convicted for a crime, you don't get to vote, period. If you're in prison serving a sentence, I don't care what it is, you don't get the right to vote. Once you served your time, once you paid your debt to society, though, I think we agree.
Yeah, because that's when you get reintroduced, and that's when you have served your debt to society. And I really do believe that once you've done the time, you have served your debt. I mean, that's the whole point, and it's just extremely fucked up.
I mean, unless you're Jesse Smollett. Well, he did serve time. They said that his community service with Jesse Jackson was time served.
That's so dumb. That guy is such a piece of shit.
Okay. I think we've come to a position that we both agree on here.
Who walks to Subway at 2 a.m. in Chicago? Like,
I mean,
stupid.
I mean,
it's cold. Stay inside.
Polar vortex. Oh, that's what you do when you're hungry. You're like, really, dude?
First of all, when you test
how wealthy
you
are
DoorDash that, or you Uber Eats, or you Grubhub.
something, right? Or you just have the fucking food at your place,
will-
or you send somebody to go get it for you, right?
Mm.
Like, look, I mean, unless we believe his story that there were.
Well, no, he first he hit up those guys to go get him food, and then he was like, wait, no, I got a much better idea.
Well, unless, and you know, I do understand that there are some people who are really in belief that Jussie Smollett is the victim here.
Wait, what?
And
There really are?
They really are. And they're called idiots. And they seriously believe that there are MAGA white-faced Nigerians patrolling the streets of Chicago searching for Jussie Smollett. Okay.
Well, those people would get the shit kicked out of them in Chicago. Like, that's the thing. Those people would have been spotted way before he found Jussie Smollett. Like,
I think one of the neighbors actually like came out and said, half the people here are gay, half of them are black. Who the fuck is going to praise Trump? Something like that, right? I go like, dude. I mean, nobody in Chicago praises Trump. Okay, we're going off on a little bit of a tangent here. Look, we've come to a position I think we both agree. You take murderers, rapists, pedophiles off the table. When you are an ex-con and you leave prison, you served your debt to society. You do deserve the right to vote. You do deserve to have. I would say, I hate to say this because, you know, I'm personally not someone who's really in favor of this. I think you deserve all of your human rights restored. Your right to bear arms should be restored.
you can't pick and choose.
You can't.
And here's the thing is, whereas, I mean,
you have the right to defend yourself.
You have the right to defend. And that's the whole point of the Second Amendment. I'm fairly left-leaning.
Well, it's tyranny from government.
I'm a fairly to protect yourself. Same thing. You put that into the protect yourself. But I'm a fairly left-leaning person. I am very for gun rights, though. You have the right to protect yourself. I don't care if it's from someone coming in to try to harm you. I don't care if it's from tyrannical fucking police officer who's not like doing his job as a police officer. He just wants to quit. I don't care who the fuck it's from. Like, I don't care. I mean, you have the right to protect yourself.
Hey, look, I'm gonna stop you right there. Look, if you're dealing with tyrannical authority figures, yes, you do have the right to defend yourself.
I just mean like a cop just breaks into your house to kill you.
Okay, that's different.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought you were dude.
Oh no, I'm not advocating people go out and kill police because they think that they're harmful. That's not what I'm advocating. No, but what I'm saying is, let's say a police officer. You remember that story, that police officer who broke into that dude's home, thinking it was her apartment, and then shot him.
What?
Because she thought she was in her apartment, which was like a house or two down.
Oh, okay, yeah, I mean...
If he had a gun, and let's just say he had it right there, if he had killed her, man, no time, she deserves it.
Here's the thing, I think that's just a shitty case.
I think it sucks, but
no,
I wouldn't have felt bad had she been the one that
I think that you probably should serve time because...
Oh yeah, the negligence.
At the same time, like, what the fuck was she thinking?
I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't remember if she was drunk or not. I don't remember. But I wouldn't have felt bad if she was the one that died instead. I really wouldn't have.
No, I mean, I get it, because, look, it's like all the times you see the police officers on the body cam footage. And look, again.
You can, some are shaky, some are obviously not overstepped.
Some got shot in Vallejo, right? He's in his car. Yeah, he's got a gun, but it's on the seat of his vehicle, and you hear the cops talking like, "Oh, we're gonna snatch his ass out of the car." First off, you are so fucking stupid because you're putting everybody else in danger if that dude is violent, right? And he wasn't, right? He responds to the officer. He's waking up, and they just open fire on him. Like, dude, and those guys need to go to jail.
Yeah, those guys are shitty people.
And again, our positions here, I think, we got a little bit of difference of opinion on some things. But I think that if we make the standard, your next con, you didn't commit rape, murder, and fucking... I think pedophiles need life.
Yeah, I think so too, actually.
We can't kill them.
You could make the argument...
up in the darkest cell.
You could make the argument to me that murderers and rapists, mostly because you can't only restore some rights and not all. You could make the argument to me and sway me that, well, then they should also get the right. You could make that argument to me. Pedophiles, though, deserve life, in which case they would never get the right back.
Castration.
Yeah.
With a rusty fork, life in prison.
I mean, you could also make the argument. You could also make the argument that rapists that they should serve life as well, and I might just agree with you.
No, I think that makes total sense to me.
Yeah, because you can't restore some rights and then all. However, I don't want them getting any rights back. I don't.
No, I don't.
And the best way for that is life.
I do think, though, again, if you restore the right to vote, you have to restore the rest of their rights too.
That's what I'm saying.
You do not get to dictate, and I get that people who
but
are
you can't
firmly
you can't take them out and not restore those rights.
No, you can't. And,
so,
and I understand
then they should just have life, right?
People who are firmly against the Second Amendment, because there are plenty of people, right? And you do have to restore all the rights. You can't pick and choose.
Yeah, who are you to pick and choose?
You want to monitor people? You want to keep firmer watch?
I monitor you while you sleep.
Right. Okay. Cameras. Well, I think we're going off on a little bit of a long run here.
I think for the most part we agree, though. I think we're good on this one.
I think we agree. Pedophiles do need to be castrated and either killed or locked up in a very, very dark, tiny room.
See, with the kill thing, right? Here's the one thing that
Please
stops
don't
me.
defend pedophiles.
No, it's not pedophiles. It's anybody. It's anybody ever getting life. I don't have confidence that we always get it right. Right? And here's the thing. If that means that these people have to just serve life and not that, to save the lives of people who are wrongfully convicted of things, I'd rather have 100 people live that may have done something bad than kill one person who didn't and got wrongfully convicted. That's how I am.
I'm not going to disagree with you. That's why I think
life and no death sentence for everything.
Okay, this is a totally different debate. We'll have it another time. All I'm going to say is my opinion on that. Look, I get where you're coming from. That's why I don't think you have a rush to judgment in a death penalty case, but the death penalty should be permitted. I do think that there are certain crimes in which you have shown that are so heinous. And this should be a very small, tiny percentage of people, because I really don't think that there are that many deranged psychotics out there.
For me, it doesn't matter.
Hold on. Let me just finish. I understand you say it doesn't matter how many. I think there are some crimes that are so heinous, so beyond the pale, and I'm talking some serious sick shit, that when you do them, you've shown that there is no coming back for you. I totally get what you're going to say, but I think in that case, you do have the death penalty on the table, but that you spare no resources in verifying that what you are doing is correct before you murder them. And that's my final piece there. We'll have a death penalty debate another time. Just I think we both need to firm up our positions on that a little bit better, because
I never need to firm up my positions, dude. I got them on deck every day for you. How you want it? I got it. All day, every day, son. Yeah, that's right.
When someone talks like that, they are very much not sure of their position. Okay.
I'm like straight up not having a good time. All right, I think that's it for this.
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been DNA Crows. Again, Andrew, the Comic Crow.
What's my name again? No, Dean.
You need a
Dean,
slick handle. All right.
At
Dean the Brother Crow.
No. First, that will never be my Twitter. Dean at DA_. Damn it, I was gonna say Crow. Talks. DA_talks.
DA_Crow. All right, thank you, folks, for
tuning in. I need the followers. Stop trying to confuse them.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Please check us out in our other videos. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Only nice comments. We are very sensitive people.
I'm too sensitive. I'm
sensitive.
I'm on the left. I need you to
our
give me love.
Skin is made of pillow feathers.
Oh, my skin was not made of